What's up, guys? This is Big D, and once again, you're watching Big D Films. Welcome back for another edition of Road Stories, where I talk to you guys and tell you guys stories about things that I've seen or certain experiences that I've had while out riding my bike over the years. And today, I got a fun little story for you that is just chock full of irony. So, as many of you know by now, I ride with a riding club. They're called the Freedom Cruisers Riding Club, and I am part of Chapter 21. And when I first joined that riding club, our chapter wasn't around then. We had to join a different chapter. So we originally signed up. There was me, my wife, my brother, a couple of my cousins, and a few others. We all joined this riding club at the same time. Okay. And so we joined in the later portion of 2011, and that's where our story takes place. So in October of 2011, a couple of us were getting ready to go on our first ride with this chapter and with this riding club. We had no idea what we were in store for. So it was me, my brother, I believe my wife was there. And we were going to meet up with a couple of them for the first time, ride with some other people for the first time. We had never rode with anybody else besides each other up to that point. You know, a couple of us rode together as far as like a couple of cousins of mine. Me and my brother, we've rode a few times. Me and my dad rode a couple times, things like that. But we'd never rode with like anybody else at this point. So, again, we had signed up and we thought this was going to be cool. So, you know, me and my wife, we get on the bike, and I think my brother was going to meet us up there separately. So we go and we're going to meet up at this meeting spot. And we get there, and there's one guy from this group. And my brother's there, and we're there, and thinking, well, I thought there was going to be a few more people than this. So already we're like, well, what exactly is it that we signed up for? So we get there, and we meet the guy. I'm going to exclude his name from the story, just in case, you know, nothing bad at all, but so anyway, we meet up with the guy, we shake hands, we introduce each other, and say, well, where's everybody else? Like, oh, we're going to meet everybody else over at such and such place. I don't even remember where we were going, but we were like, well, that's kind of weird, why didn't we all meet at the same place? But regardless, all right, fine. So we get on the bike, and we head over to wherever the meeting, other meeting spot was, and there was only 2 or 3 other people, I think. And we're like, so where are we going, guys? They go, well, you know, I think we're going to take a ride out to hell. Well, I don't know if I like the sound of that. What exactly do you mean? I didn't know at the time that there is a little town in southern Michigan called Hell. Hell, Michigan. Rode there several times. I actually put a link up to one of the rides up here in the corner. And it turns out Hell's a cool little town. They have a blessing of the bikes up there every single year called Blessed in Hell. I've done that a couple times. It's a really cool event. I mean, shoot. Years and years later, my wife and I, we would even get married in Hell. So there's a little special place in my heart for the little town of Hell. But at this point, October of 2011, I'd never been there before. Never even heard of it. Never even knew it existed. So we're like, okay, well, this should be interesting, right? So we get back on the bikes and we start heading that way. And it's called the Hell Saloon now. But at the time, it was known as the Damn Sight Inn. It's a little bar pub that's out in the little town of Hell. And we stop there and we get off the bikes. And it was a nice ride. It was a nice ride out there. I like riding out in that area. And anyway, we get there, we park in the parking lot, and they have the sign in front of the building, basically in the little front yard right out by the road. And on this sign, it said, closed due to fire. We all kind of got a chuckle out of that. You know, that's kind of funny, you know. Closed due to fire, we're in hell. Okay, sure. Haha. So we walk up to the front door, grab the handle of the door, and click. Then it dawned on us. Like, oh, they're serious. They're they're legitimately closed. Apparently they actually had a fire here. Well, who'd have thunk that? The Dam Site Inn in Hell, Michigan is closed because of a fire. We kind of looked around the parking lot, and it was at that point we realized we're the only ones there. That should have been our first clue. And it just didn't click. It just didn't dawn on us. Well, that's something. I guess that is a thing. So, I guess we scratch this idea for now, and we have to find somewhere else to go. So anyway, we did get on the bikes, and they did take us to another little place, and we got some food and a drink and stuff, and it was an interesting little first ride, and it was fun to get out and ride with them, and, ride with somebody else for the first time. That is pretty much my story, and there's not a lot to it. It's just the fact that we went to Hell, Michigan for the first time, at least for me and my wife and my brother. For the first time, we go to Hell, and their pub is closed due to fire. It was one of those extremely ironic things that here it is nearly 10 years later, and I still can't forget that. It was one of the most interesting and to me, one of the funniest things that, being that I've only been riding for about a year at that point and never ridden with, any other group at that point. And they take us to this town we've never been to, a town called Hell, and part of it was closed legitimately because they had a fire. So I don't know. I find it funny and ironic still to this day. So I hope you guys like that story. I know there ain't a lot to it, but with that being said, if you guys have any stories, something like this, you go way out of your way to go somewhere that, you've heard about or you've read about, or somebody wants you to take you somewhere because it's really cool, and all of a sudden, maybe you can't get there. Roads are closed. You just can't get there. Maybe it didn't exist anymore. And it just extremely disappointed. I know some of you have some kind of a road story that's got to be something like this. I can't be the only one. So this is where you come in. Drop your stories right down here in the comments. Share them with me. I would like to know. I would like to hear some of your stories just like this. And with that being said, again, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so that you don't miss any other road stories that I have to share with you guys, or that you don't miss when the Shattered Glass Saloon is once again open for business, or whenever we get a chance to finally put another ride video together. So that being said, I am Big D. You've been watching Big D Films, and until the next time, we will catch you down the road.